Radio Free is 102.3 KJLH.
Front page on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
It is 5:06 in the morning. I'm Dominique DiPrima here with Michael Eric Dyson. We're broadcasting live from the Jerry Dunphy newsroom at CBS 2 KCAL 9 Broadcast Center in Studio City on a Stevie Wonder Morning Thunder $1,000 Thursday. It's the front page, and we are talking about hip-hop in the context of our larger society. Michael Eric Dyson, of course, will be at SO1 Bookstore tonight to talk about his new book, Know What I Mean?
7 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Reflections on hip-hop, know what I mean? Yeah. I've been reflecting on hip-hop a long time, as I'm sure you know.
Absolutely. Well, you're not that old, so it ain't really been that long.
Long enough. I think I picked up the mic when I was about 13 and started rapping.
Oh, about 10 years ago. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That's how I got my my start as a broadcaster, actually quiet as it's kept. But I do think that in the context of the whole Don Imus situation, and I saw you on everybody's TV show talking about this, and it was so ironic at the time because there were so few black women included in that conversation.
My point.
As far as pundits go.
Right.
You did a great job out there, but you know,
still, I hear what you said. That's a great point. That's a point that we were making earlier when we talk about the pervasive sexism of a society that refuses to acknowledge the legitimate intelligence of black women, even to speak for themselves or to articulate their viewpoints. And the mainstream media wasn't mad at Don Imus so much because he was dissing black women. They were mad because black people, they thought, had been dissing black women, and why shouldn't they have the equal right to diss black women? Not that they were concerned about the interests of black women.
Well, that's an interesting point, because you hear that all the time. If you all are saying the N-word, and a lot of people that call this radio station and get radio free right here on the front page, that's exactly what they say. If we say the N-word, we give people permission. I don't happen to agree with that, but it's hard to defend that position because they say we're sending the message that it's all right.
Well, look, first of all, black people didn't invent that term. All right, people forget it was hijacked, right? It was on the road and the pavement of white supremacy, and black people plucked it off there and said, look, we're going to take that term and use it, some as a term of endearment, some as a term of love. It depends on how you signify it through intonation, inflection of voice. Again, I don't want to be a racial fundamentalist or a racial literalist. The reality is that the N-I-G-G-E-R is different from the N-I-G-G-A.
Okay, no spelling it
we can't even spell it.
No,
okay,
we're not allowed to spell it either.
The N-word, I'm sorry, I'm so
sorry.
sorry.
I was at the studio, I'd hit my dump button right now.
I'm so sorry. Let me just say the one word articulated by white supremacy and the one ending in ER, okay, I'll put it that way, and the one ending in A. I'm saying that the reality is there are different intonations and inflections that black people give to that term. Let's not pretend that white people don't know the difference. I don't make infants out of white people. White people they're grown. They get the point that you cannot say that term. Part of it is they get it so well that they're resentful that they can't use the term. And I'm saying part of the privilege of an oppressed people is to isolate certain terms that can be only circulated within the context of their culture. Now, there are other people of color who disagree with that. Some black people disagree with that. But to pretend that because we've used the term that they began and that we took it over, that we're giving permission to that, no, we're saying we refuse to allow your meaning to stand. And I don't know why. Again, I use the example of Martin Luther King Jr. Was he self-hating? Was he giving permission to people to do so? I think we have to understand the differences between white supremacist discourse aimed at black people's wounded psyches to traumatize them and the attempt of black people among ourselves to circulate that term. And listen here, I didn't hear that term first in hip-hop culture, by the way. I heard it with pastors talking about preaching to their members, and they were calling them the N-word in a very loving and affirming fashion.